Hello and welcome to episode 36 of the Throwback podcast. I'm Mark and I'm here with Ginger Shaq.
All right.
That's all I've got.
So for our audio listeners, first off, our YouTube viewers are in for an absolute treat. And I have to explain for our audio listeners that to describe how Mark looks right now was if you got a bag of dog crap.
Slapped it on the wall.
You slapped it on the wall. Well, I say dog crap. Let me rephrase that. If you got the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, no.
Slapped it on a wall.
I've had 3 hours sleep. Rich Barrett texted me. I'll tell you what time Rich Barrett texted me. I nearly fucking turned up at his house. Rich Barrett texted me at 3:30, right? Saying, what the fuck is happening? How did that lead vanish? And I replied, I'm done with basketball, man. And he put, got it all to do now. I've not texted him since. I won't be. He's done. He's gone. Forget him. He had his chance. He's blew it. What?
We won't delve into it too much because we just won't. But do you remember that conversation we had where you were like, I don't know why Doc Rivers wasn't in Coach of the Year conversation.
Fucking hell, yeah, no, now.
And we went, oh, do you not remember that he gets that far in the playoffs and then he goes, no, mate, I want to go at Cancun.
Yeah, that's what.
That would be it.
Let's see, though. Let's see. Right. Obviously, last night wasn't great. But we go to the next game. We've beat them in Atlanta before. So we go back to Atlanta, beat them, and then back to Philly, game 7. Hopefully, big game. I'm off for the next 2 weeks, which I'm obviously glad about now. If we progress, or even if we get to a game 7. But yeah, just a bit frustrating because game 3 was dominant, even game 4. But last night, man, I've not seen anything like that. I've not seen a collapse like that. Do you know what? It's similar to how good Liverpool were last season compared to how Liverpool have been this season. Like, I've never seen a more dominant team crumble into shit. And that's the only way I can describe it.
I mean, that's a fantastic analogy. It would be a better analogy if it was the Lakers, because, Liverpool won it and Philadelphia done an Arsenal again.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We could still win it.
Ultimately, I would love nothing more than it being, a 76ers Suns final. That would be my dream. I hope you do it.
To timestamp this podcast, just to timestamp it for the exact time that we're recording this podcast. Kevin De Bruyne has just scored for Belgium. If you want to know exactly the time, because I've just heard it.
Equally, that could mean nothing because Kevin De Bruyne is naughty.
Yeah.
So but enough about the Sixers Hawks. That's obviously a disappointing turn of events for yourself. I've decided that we now need to record pods whenever the Suns are playing an elimination game.
Yeah.
Because we are their good luck omen.
We definitely are.
And while we're talking about the Suns, one of the things I wanted to bring up, because it's caused a little bit of Suns in 4 guy.
Yeah.
Now everyone will know who Suns in 4 guy is.
Yeah.
he's allegedly going to be front row,
Courtside,
Western Conference Finals, courtside. Does he deserve to be? Are we rewarding an act of violence?
For me,
yeah.
Granted, we don't know what happened before.
Yeah.
So I'm going strictly off
the
what
footage
I've seen. So
yeah.
if I'm going strictly off what I've seen, I'm not talking about what's happened before. I'm not talking about what's going on after. Strictly what I've seen. What I've seen was two guys trying to bully one guy. Is what I seen there.
Yeah.
Two guys playing the big one. Then one guy puts his phone or whatever in his pocket and then tries to kind of blindside him, which I don't like. So at that point, then, for me, it's fair game. At that point. Then, at that point, it's like, do you know what, mate? You've just tried to blindside him. You deserve everything you get. And how Suns in 4 guy handled it, holding him, talking to his mate, and then belting him at the same time. Yeah, I'm all for that. But
Suns in 4 guy is a hero.
Yeah.
He is a hero. I will reward that violence. My viewpoint, I'm sure there are people that disagree with us. I understand that.
Yeah.
But the Nuggets fans appeared to throw the first blow.
Yeah.
And much like the Phoenix Suns, he finished it. So,
definitely
go back to Denver and suck a knuckle.
But do you know what? It's funny. Did you see the footage from the guy's Instagram feed who got hit?
No.
So he went on Instagram afterwards saying, obviously not realizing that this Suns in 4 guy was going to go viral, saying, we've just fucked somebody up. We've just done this. We've just done that. Yeah, I've got a bloody nose, but you want to see the other guy giving it all that. And then everybody was commenting on it like, no, the footage has gone viral. You just got fed your dinner there, son.
Yeah.
Go home.
But it is a fairy tale basketball. The Suns making the Western Conference Finals. I think it's Monty Williams' way of going, so I'm not coach of the year.
I know. But what happens? Isn't Chris Paul out with COVID-19 at the moment?
Yeah, so he's tested positive, which a lot of people are like, but he's had the vaccine. Obviously, those in the know will know that the vaccine does not 100% stop you from catching COVID. It just means that the symptoms of it and the debilitating lung condition that it can cause is kind of sort of soothed down. Vice versa, I've had both jabs. I work in social care. Still have to wear a mask and still have to LFT PCR test. So, Chris Paul is out. And that was kind of like the first bit of crappy news that landed in the past couple of days about players being injured. Because then we got the news about Kawhi Leonard potentially being out of his ACL. In fact, actually, the first one was Kyrie, wasn't it? He rolled his ankle, and then you've got Glenn Big Baby Davis saying it was karma because that was the ankle he stomped on Lucky with.
Yeah.
And so it tells me he's been spending a bit too much time with Al Harrington and enjoying a little bit of the old joie.
Yeah.
And I'd expect more from an NBA player
in regards to injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've spoke about it before. I'm not like anybody that says when an opposition player, their star player gets injured, you're not like, ooh, because you are. Like anybody that says they're not, like if Liverpool are playing and Mo Salah goes down, people are like, oh,
of course,
and vice versa for most other players. But I just thought it was in poor taste. But it made him relevant again
for 15 minutes.
Ironically, we're talking about Glenn Big Baby Davis, and I believe he wore number 36. Maybe, I think.
Maybe.
I
know Shaq.
He might not have. Shaq did, yeah. But obviously, yeah, I mean, it's injuries are just that. Like, and what's sad is if the Suns do go all the way, just feel like people are going to use that as a rhetoric and
like people got injured and it was a shorter season.
There's an asterisk next to it because it was the COVID season where players are out of protocols and we had a lot of injuries and it was condensed and they didn't actually play 82 games in. And it reminds me just kind of a little bit like when, again, to reiterate Liverpool winning the league, as you attested to earlier, when people were like, yeah, but it's the COVID season. It shouldn't really count.
Yeah.
No, it does.
Of course.
You know, I firmly believe the Eastern Conference Finals will be the Nets versus the Sixers, and I believe the Western Conference Finals will be the Clippers versus the Suns. And them four teams just generally excite me.
Yeah.
Obviously, the biggest thing is the fact that if the Sixers don't get through, we are looking at teams that have never really won it.
Yeah.
So we're looking at, an inaugural NBA championship for one of these franchises.
I
almost want the Clippers to kind of do it, just so I'll be like, so where are they going to hang the banner?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to have an awkward one banner? Like, just in the Staples Center.
People slept on the Clippers this year, and I said, because nobody really, just even now, nobody are really talking about the Clippers. Obviously, there's been a lot today because Paul George showed out last night, but nobody's still really talking about the Clippers. Everybody seems to think the Suns are getting there. And obviously, if Kawhi goes down, that's massive. That is massive. But if, say, for argument's sake, Chris Paul has to sit out for 2 weeks and Kawhi's down, it becomes interesting then, doesn't it?
It does. I just don't think you can call it. Like, it just seems a bit mad at the minute, and it's kind of everything I love about basketball, just in terms of, like...
So unpredictable. At the beginning of the season, if you'd have said you could have a potential, like, conference final out of the let's leave the Clippers. The Jazz and the Suns versus the Hawks and the Bucks. Like, you'd have been like, oh, I can see the Bucks getting there. But that's it, out of the four.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, in itself, like, it's just beautiful. It's just ace.
Crazy.
Obviously, tonight, as of recording, we've got the next, I believe it'll be the Nets Bucks. So that series could be over by the time this pod goes out. And obviously, subsequently, is it Friday? The Hawks could...
Friday, and then the Jazz Clippers as well. Friday.
So what we're hoping for is, from your point of view, is 2 Game 7s.
Is a cry. I just don't want to cry.
Will you cry?
I will. Like, this, honest to God, it is literally, that game last night has ruined my day. Like, completely, like, my day. Like, the only way it could get worse, if England get beat by Scotland tomorrow, and if the Sixers get beat by the Hawks Saturday, I'm supposed to go in a barbecue. It rains, and then I'll just sit in and cry all day. Probably drink some wine. Book a holiday.
And go on Instagram Live. And go on Instagram Live, yeah?
Yeah, and cry on Instagram Live. But anyway, let's stop talking about that. Let's talk about some nice things. LaMelo Ball. I said at the beginning of the season I thought he was going to be MVP.
MVP?
Well, yeah, he might as well be. Let's have him as MVP because the awards mean nothing anyway anymore. So, no, Rookie of the Year. I said at the beginning of the year.
It's starting to sound like his dad.
I know, yeah. I think we both kind of said that Lamelo Ball, but we didn't realise the impact he was going to have.
Yeah.
And I am glad that he got the nod over Anthony Edwards.
Did they announce like who came like runner-up and stuff? Was it Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, it was. I don't know what was in it, but it definitely was.
Who came third?
Hilliburton. Is that his name?
Halliburton, yeah. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah, so I mean, I think he deserves it. Obviously, he needs to thank his dad, Michael.
Michael Ball. The singer.
Yeah.
Okay. You know?
No, his adopted dad. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Might as well. Well, he may have. But yeah, Hilliburton, and then it was Sadiq Bey from Detroit.
Yeah, not a bad shout, to be fair. Like, I'm not mad with that. I mean, obviously, Patrick Williams should have been Rookie of the Year, but politics.
Here we are. It is what it is, and that's the way it is, though, isn't it? So, yeah. I'm glad Lamelo got his flowers. So
yeah,
it is what it is. What have you got any other news? Some more than that? Something I need some positivity.
I see. Like the next thing isn't even positive. It's just me getting mad about LeBron going to number 6.
No, let's not talk about that. Let's forget about that. Let's go to. Have you copped anything? Copped any jerseys? Copped any sneakers? Like anything? Some positivity.
Copped the jersey.
Yeah.
Got the Hall of Fame Mamba.
Yes. Absolute beast.
Which is beautiful. And technically copped a pair of Nike Dunks.
See, what you do here is you talk shit about something, then buy them. Which ones, though? Can I guess?
So, I mean, you can.
But I won't get it.
Probably not.
So when you say technically you've bought a pair of Nike Dunks,
yeah.
Right? What? So are they a pair of Nike Dunks?
They are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you bought the Kentuckys, blue and white.
No.
All right. Let me see then. Are they for you?
No.
Oh, so they're for your missus.
Yeah.
Are they the ones that we had on the last pod?
Yeah, the Purple Pulse.
Yeah. Let me see.
So, like, she said she wanted them, and then she tried to get them, and hilariously entered a raffle.
Yeah.
To pick them up in person from Selfridges in London. With no means of getting to London. I'm being completely unaware that it was an online raffle.
But she got the dub.
She got the dub.
So which?
So, get them now.
Is it the purple?
So yeah, so basically she done that, and then she was like, "Oh, shit," and I was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll enter a raffle for you." Like, ain't never win a raffle, do you?
So you've got 2 pairs.
No, we didn't collect the ones.
Yeah, I like them actually. They give me like old school Kanye West, Lupe Fiasco vibes.
So I had no idea that I'd won the raffle until I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, sweating like a pregnant nun because it was boiling.
Yeah.
And I looked at my phone and there was an email like, "Your size order will be delivered tomorrow." Like, why order from size?
And they've just rocked up.
And then they're coming tomorrow. So
brilliant. Well, that's a dub. That is a.
It's not. It's not.
Well, it is for somebody. It's not for you. which is the best kind of dub. Talking of sons, Melvy hit me up.
Love Melvy. He's on a time for his life right now, isn't he?
He is living the absolute dream. And he said, question for the pod. Seeing PJ Tucker wear what seemed like 50 different pairs of shoes in today's game, what, as a cool kid, he put it in inverted commas, was the stupidest things you've worn on the court? He said, I would often wear 2 different colours of the same shoe, Melo V5s to be precise. Also, size L jerseys / t-shirts. I'm not a large at all. Currently, Nike jerseys in a small fit me perfectly. Oh, God. As a cool kid, cool, definitely like that. So many things. I used to wear bandanas and fitted hats. Yeah. Used to wear bandanas and fitted hats. I used to wear like XL jerseys when I was smaller, and big baggy t-shirts.
Whereas now they fit you.
Yeah. Baggy shorts down to the ankles almost. Always done that like TJ Ford used to. That bad. And in regards to sneakers and stuff, I never really did anything like too crazy, but I always had crazy sneakers. Like I always had like and ones. I used to play in and ones when I was and Iversons, so that's what I played in when I was younger. All kinds of stuff. Shooting sleeves, obviously, because I was an Iverson fan. Used to wear a shooting sleeve. Headbands. All sorts of crazy, stupid things that you do when you're a kid trying to fit in. But yeah.
So in terms of, I've never really been on court.
Yeah.
But I've made some shocking shoe choices.
Shut
up. At the top, these are like even ones that I can't even
mention.
So obviously the first one I bought was a pair of Ewins. If anybody is going deep sea diving, welcome to have.
Is it that bad?
They're awful.
I think I remember you posting them.
Right, and then I bought a pair of Nike Fly Steppers 2K3.
Oh, frightening, that is.
So them.
Yeah, no, that ain't it, boss.
And I was like, these are it. Like, I'm going to be the bee's knees. I could see it in my head. I was like, black polo shirt, black skinny jeans, them. I'm going to look wicked. And I put them on. I went downstairs. And my old man said, you stole them from work. Are they orthopedic shoes?
They on prescription, them shoes, or
like he was looking for the label that said Pedro. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, and then I wore where are they? I wore these the other day with my man Shugs.
What did Shugs have to say?
So there was 2 things. The first one was, why are you wearing banana splits on your feet? And then the second one was, I never knew they made a shoe to honor the custard cream.
That's... I love Shugs, me. Out of everybody I've ever met, he's definitely top 5.
Isn't he? Like, it's just... And the thing was, this wasn't even like out of like him just saying it. Like, I just bought him a Nando's.
Hey, he's moving mad. The problem you've had there is you've already bought him the Nando's. You can't take that Nando's back then. He's already ate it. He can say what he wants at that point. You should have asked his opinion before the Nando's. And then when he said...
No. I didn't ask his opinion.
He just give it you.
He just told me, like, why are you currently walking about, floating about in banana splits?
No.
And then we were sat there chilling, watching an episode of The Ultimate Fighter, and it just dawned on him. And he was like, posted on Twitter a picture of custard creams and was like, Ginger Shaq's currently floating about wearing these, chuckling away to himself.
Well,
and what's mad is it's funny because they do look like custard creams. And have I worn them since? No, I haven't, Mark.
And will I? Definitely not. Talking of Shugs, though, those green release snapbacks look dope, and the modelling pictures he's looking great, isn't he? In a crop top and a skirt, he looked bloody lovely.
It's amazing what the filters on Instagram can do.
He looked bloody lovely. The lad did. He looked bloody lovely.
But he's understated as our Shugs. Like, he's killing it. Like, both of them tees are dead cool.
Yeah.
And the snapbacks. And I did pick up my Boy from Coney Island t-shirt. And then left it at his. So it's still there.
You'll get it one day. I'm sure you'll get it one day. I don't know if Stu sent a question, but I'm going to assume
always. He did, yeah.
So
he did.
I'm going to head over. Obviously, this week we've had a quick turnaround with podcasts because of last week. So somebody did. John Tomlinson, aka Chazaruni, commented on it, saying he loved the show. This was only the second of seeing, so I'm a bit of a noob. I thought I'd see if you would talk about the new heritage jerseys that are being rumoured in the upcoming show. I explained that we'd talked about it on the last show, so he said he must have missed the last one and watched the one before that. He needs to realise we're hot off the press. We're first to everything.
On it. Like I would arguably say that we are the best podcast in the UK, ran by a Midlander, a Northerner, on Zoom, focused around sneakers, jerseys, and basketball.
I think you're right. Another one was Armour of God Gundam, who is Joey Schilling. Oh. He messaged saying he didn't realise that we did a podcast, and he said, "Brilliant! I've just downloaded the whole thing. Will be great to listen for a while in work." So
love that.
Brilliant. He's downloaded everything and went and caught back up. So
do you know what was really cool? You know how like Spotify done that kind of like mid-year thing?
Yeah.
Where they're like and seeing like our podcast pop up on people's like feeds and like
that was cool.
Like it's ironic because like on mine, we're not the number one podcast. Like I don't.
No, same.
I don't listen to our podcast.
I don't listen to our. Once I've done it and then I've edited it, I'm fucking sick of the sound of my voice. For starters,
I mean, equally, I put it on YouTube and I just click repeat for 4 hours.
Yeah, just to get them views up. Get them views up. Yeah. So Stu again keeps talking about Embiid's biscuit knees. Saying he really enjoyed this week's. I'll continue to push the hard-hitting question, such as Joel Embiid, biscuit knees. Embiid's got biscuit knees. You've got biscuit trainers. Here we are. great times for everybody in the biscuit community. I'm going to start calling him Stu McVitie if he carries on. Right, so...
You're right, though, because like a biscuit does hit the spot. So, yeah, he's hit it bang on there.
He
biscuit needs Embiid.
He definitely has. So, number one, which fit of jersey is your preference? An original champion is always superb, but some of the Reebok ones are great. Shout out the AI rig outs. So, the Adidas ones are my favourite. The Adidas Rev 30s with the mesh lettering numbers. They're my favourite fit-wise. But equally, Mitchell and Ness Authentics are great. Mitchell and Ness is great.
I'd probably say Mitchell and Ness Authentics or Swingman.
Yeah.
I like the Nike. I like the Adidas. Reebok, I've never bought a Reebok for the sole reason I think the shoulders are a bit wide on them.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, let's not mess around here. An OG champion is like,
yeah, cool. Super cool. You see, at least once every single season, an NBA player will be rocking an OG champion jersey. At least once.
100%.
At least once every season. And that just goes to show how they are still relevant fashion-wise. They are still relevant in everyday life, really. So, yeah, great. That we've both answered that. Number 2 is, based on the recent Bulls-influenced PSG kit, are there any other football teams and NBA team styles you could see that would work? The
fact that Nike haven't asked the San Antonio Spurs
to do something with the Tottenham Hotspurs.
With Tottenham Hotspur is a thing.
Yeah. That's a farce, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's
certain kits that look like football teams. So any kit, like, for instance, the Motor City Pistons jersey.
Crystal Palace.
Looks like Crystal Palace. Yeah. There was another one that I had logged in. If we're just talking about jerseys from, like, this season.
Because there was a point where it worked out quite well, because obviously your boy James Harden unveiled an Arsenal shirt.
Yes.
And at the time he was at the Rockets. So, you know, that red and white, you know, that popped. But if there was, like, I mean, there's always been a long-standing Liverpool LeBron rumored. Yeah, like, you know, something's going to pop up.
Maybe you could do, like, I don't know, the Bulls and Man United would probably work just with the red, white, and black. Sorry. And the Celtics.
I hate to admit it, but it would.
Yeah, and the Celtics and, like, Panathinaikos.
Or Celtic.
Would have probably been a better answer, really. Now we think about it.
Do you want to try again and go, I really think the Boston Celtics should do a partnership with Linfield Rovers.
I really think the Boston Celtics should do a partnership with Shamrock Rovers.
Bloody love Shamrock Rovers.
There you go.
But no, I mean, I think obviously I'm a big fan of, like, crossover sport collabs. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, when the NFL announced they were doing games at Tottenham Stadium, they released a Tottenham NFL jersey.
Yeah.
So it was like a Nike cut NFL jersey with, like, Spurs across it in the year they were formed, which was kind of cool, but at the same time, a little bit cliche. So no, it would be cool. I think PSG, the Bulls, you're not going to get much better than that. Like, I think
I've just read the end of Stu's message.
it's about dunks.
And I'm going to read it out because we're no nonsense here at the Throwback podcast. And I probably do agree. G-Shaq's hatred of the dunk still upsets me, but the tumble dunks had me. So if you watch the last one, Ginger Shaq called, I don't even know what dunks they were, but he called them the Mr. Tumble dunks because they look like Mr. Tumble. If you don't know who Mr. Tumble is, look on a sex register, a sex offenders register, and you'll see him there. He said, I had the same opinion on them as Mark, but couldn't bring myself to enter the raffle. Then hearing them as the tumble dunk ended it. The man is a nonce.
And just to clarify, right, I've loved you've read that out because Stu, you're the man that told me that you can't listen to podcasts with your bambino around because I'm not child friendly.
And now you're calling people nonces left, right, and centre, like bloody Stinson Hunter. Bang out of order. Bang out of order.
To be fair, though, do you know what I mean? He's got that ears, isn't he?
Yeah, Jimmy Savile vibes from Mr. Tumble.
Yeah, he's got that Epstein ting by him.
Yeah, he's got that Epstein in him. Anyway, moving on.
Justin's Funhouse. What I say?
This podcast escalated, didn't it, towards the end? I've not even had a drink yet.
I don't drink. It's the problem.
Yeah, that might be the problem. Maybe I need one. Players with number 36.
Shaq at the Celtics.
You said one before.
Yeah.
Don't say that again.
Why?
Because I don't even know if he's actually 36.
Okay.
I hope he isn't. Is he? I don't think he is, you know.
I don't think he is.
Did you just say it to make me angry?
Yeah.
Did make me angry. Marcus Smart or Dario Saric? Rip Hamilton.
I'm going to go Rasheed Wallace.
Sheed as well. That Sheed is one of...
At the Hawks.
I'll kill you. I know where you live. Got your address and everything. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Oh, yeah. Shiting myself.
Kill you. Yeah, anyway, I think we've talked enough shit. We did not plan for this podcast, but I think it's come out really well this time.
It's mainly because we've been awake for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, them ones when we're just straight up in the morning, they're not it. Those. But anyway.
Right. Also, just to quickly mention, England football team got a hoop.
Yeah, they did. They did. Some Mason Mount shooting. Some people saying, give him a 10-day. Worst form I've ever seen since I watched you shoot a jump shot.
Declan Rice, though, he was giving it AI vibes.
Yeah, he is big AI fan. Sent him a couple of jerseys. Shout out to Declan and the rest of the England team. Big dub the other day, hopefully. A bigger dub tomorrow. Who's Shugs going to support?
Shugs is an England fan.
Okay, so he just picks teams that are going to win.
But obviously, we are... the town we're in, Costa del Corby, is known as Little Scotland. So tomorrow is a risky day.
A risky day on the streets of Corby. Panic on the streets of Corby. Panic on the streets of
This has been episode 36, the Throwback Podcast. Thank you for listening, watching, enjoying. We'll see you on the next episode. I apologize. Come on, the Hawks.
Peace out.